AM 1220.
7:39 coming up on 7:40, and in studio right now, it's time for Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto from Cinema Vet. Good morning and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How were your holidays?
They were great.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Mine too. I'm not fond of the 26th. You know that.
I know.
You know that.
It's always kind of a sad day.
It is a very sad day, and my decorations may or may not be down yet. So there. Dr. Jaimie Ronchetto, Happy New Year. That is what we're going to talk about, the New Year. As humans, one of the big things last week of December, and especially this December, the last week of December, it was all about, because it was the last of the decade,
Right.
It was all about making New Year's resolutions, changes, goals, focus boards, all kinds of things. What things are going to happen in 2020? You know, up the dreams, up the everything, right? So, as far as animals,
Yes.
I'm assuming animals don't have horrible habits like smoking. You know, they don't have to throw out their Winstons, right?
Right. Let's hope not.
So,
Yeah.
And wouldn't that be funny? But as humans caring for animals, we can make those resolutions for the animals.
Right.
So, having said that, what is the first thing that comes to mind making a New Year's resolution that can involve your pet? Something that you think is just at the top of the list.
I think the most common one would be weight loss goals and, activity. So our pets sort of follow in our footsteps. And so if we're not super active, they're not usually super active. And, there's a lot of overweight pets. We shower them with love using food a lot of times. So,
How do we love ourselves?
Exactly. It's the same thing.
If I have a good day, how do you think I celebrate?
Right. Your favorite treat of some sort, I'm quite sure. That's what I do too. I mean, we're all guilty of it. And so this is a good time of year to change those habits and change those habits for your pets too at the same time. So if your pet has maybe gotten a little overweight, gained a few pounds, obviously starting slow, don't make the goals too crazy. Just little bits at a time is always the healthy and safe way to do it. And if they're not used to exercising with you, obviously everything in moderation, little bits at a time to let them work up their stamina a little bit in a healthy way. You don't want to overdo it and lead to injury. Certainly.
Got it. Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. If we don't know how much the dog should weigh, is there a chart? Can they call you at Cinema Vet, bring in the pet? I mean, can you do an assessment? You know how when anybody, a human, starts a brand new diet or a brand new program, it's always recommended, see your doctor first.
Right.
Before you start anything, especially on a grand scale. And 5 pounds for a dog, that's a lot. That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of a grand scale for a pet. Do you recommend, they come in and discuss the goals with you or your partner to kind of see where they're going, and maybe you can direct them?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I always recommend allowing your veterinarian to actually put hands on your pet, see your pet. There are body condition scores that we go by. So, we can show you those graphs and let you firsthand see where your pet is at as well, so you have a better understanding of what your pet should look like and where they're starting at. We definitely talk about diet. A lot of times that is a huge component of it, not just the amount, but the type of food that they're on too. So we may recommend a diet change to help with the weight loss, in addition to, talking about how much exercise they should be getting and how slowly their weight loss should take.
Do they, I know this may sound like a silly question, but I think pets are smarter than we give them credit for.
Sure.
Just because I can't talk.
Right.
Right? Will they notice that we're decreasing the treats? Will they notice that,
of course,
the walks are increasing and come on, get off the couch?
Yeah. I mean, I think they definitely notice that the change of treats. My dog certainly can tell time, and he starts staring at me a good hour before dinner time just to make sure that he knows it's coming up, So
Well, he doesn't want you to forget. I
exactly.
get that. I get that.
A lot of times I'm still at work, so he gets a little worried.
I stare at my husband for the same exact reason.
So I think they definitely will know that, hey, what's going on? There's a change. But that's when you do other things with them to, show them love in different ways, or affection and attention. And if they still really need the snackies, then you switch to healthier snacks, just like we would take. So carrots, green beans, other veggies like that give them a little bit of a crunch. They feel like they're getting something special. It's human food, but it's safe for them, and it's not a ton of extra calories.
That's I've never given my dog people food, but give us the top 5 veggies for a dog. Like if you want to do something like that, what would be the 5 veggies that are safe for the dogs?
Carrots, green beans, I think are the top ones. Maybe like adding peas to their food. Some people like broccoli and cauliflower, but too much gives them kind of gassiness, so you want to be careful with that.
Yeah, some dogs don't need extra gas.
Exactly.
They really don't. Some dogs, why is that, by the way? Is it the way the dog is built, or is it always based on the food? Because I've just noticed some bigger dogs.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's both, because there's
Okay.
certain breeds that definitely are more prone to gassiness.
Yeah. So for New Year's resolution, it's the same kind of thing as the human. Make sure the dog or the cat or the pet, whatever it is, healthy, which starts, at just with the basics. If you haven't gone to the vet in a while, what do you recommend?
It's always a good place to start.
I take my dog every 6 months, but in between, she's got to be popped. You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about, right?
uh-huh.
Okay. Google it, kids. But every 6 months.
Okay.
What do you recommend?
I think that's great. So, younger pets a lot of times can get away with just once a year. But if they're, so we say senior at 7, if they're 7 years or older, then we definitely recommend twice a year
Okay.
visits.
And if you're starting a program, if you're starting something new, you want to change the food, you want to change the diet, you want to up the exercise, which is always recommended. It's a new year. You want your pet around as long as possible.
Exactly.
So we'll try and get the laziness off the table, right?
Yeah.
Because it starts with us.
That's
Right?
half the battle.
It starts with us, and it may do us a little good as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I just have to talk myself into it. Give me a second, doctor. Give me a second. What else do you recommend as far as, in the time we have left, New Year's resolution for your pet?
I think this is also a good time, sort of in the same vein as what we've been talking about, but if you have been interested in getting involved in some sort of new hobby that can involve your pet, this would be a good time to look into that and get started with it. So, if you feel like your animal would be a good therapy dog, visiting the hospitals and assisted living homes and things like that, there's a lot of great programs to help get you started with that. Agility, different types of activity that you can do with your pet that's more of a group activity and helps you bond with your pet. I think this is it's the start of a new year, so, good time to get started.
New
with those
year, new
things.
decade. Cinema Vet is located on Cinema Drive. What is the best number to reach you at if we have a new pet or we want to start the new year off right and we said, you know what, let's go see Dr. Jaimie or your partner and kind of have an assessment? What's the best phone number?
It is 661-253-9300.
There we go. Happy New Year. Let's hope we can do it this year.
Yeah.
Let's hope.